All right. So this is Lushootseed 091. I don't know if you can see it behind me. This is Wednesday at 5:30. This is week 1. My name is Chris Bryden. I am one of the language teachers for the Puyallup Tribal Language Department, and this is one of our online classes. And if I could just have you two introduce yourselves, please. How about Jamie? You go first.
Well, I'm Jamie. I'm Jamie Sportsman. I'm not sure what all you want us to say, but yeah, I'm really excited. This is
Do you work for the tribe or do you?
no, I am enrolled, but I
Oh,
do
I
not
see.
work for the tribe. I work for an accounting firm out in Bellevue.
Oh,
So
cool. Nice. Well, it's great
yeah,
to meet you, Jamie. I've heard your name quite a bit around the office.
right on. Hopefully, all good things. Yeah.
Oh, all of them.
Good. Good.
We're not all good. All right. And how about you, Calicia?
Um, okay. I don't know if you're waiting to put it on me or not.
Oh, yeah, it's on you now.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, my name's Kaylesia Bean. I'm 24. I'm an enrolled tribal member, and I actually am an AmeriCorps member, and I work with the Pierce Conservation District with their community food projects.
That is so
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Great to meet you, Kalicia. I've been calling you
Yeah.
Kalicia, Kalicia.
It's okay.
Just so the world knows now, I run into Kalicia at the gym every so often, and she's younger than I am. It's not even, I don't even look at her anymore. I'm like, well, there she is lifting all the weights. That's
That's awesome. Yes, that's good.
Before I get into the actual Lushootseed, I'm just going to do a couple housekeeping things about Google Hangouts. The first thing you guys need to know is it's not 100% reliable. Sometimes I will disappear. Sometimes somebody will disappear. And unfortunately, that just happens. And if it does, don't get freaked out. It's no big deal. I'll keep recording the class so you can watch whatever you missed out. Or if the class just ends, we can talk over the phone. It doesn't matter. I just don't want you to get all negative emotion about it. It's all chill. The other thing is if you take a look at your screen, if you're on a computer, if you look right above my head, there's a mute button somewhere around this area. I think it might be reversed for you guys. So maybe over there.
It's to our left.
Oh, okay. Is it right there? Oh.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see it.
Okay. And if you're on a
On my
computer,
phone.
it's up at the top. And if you click it, it'll obviously mute you. For those of you who are on other devices, phones, laptops, whatever, as you're using the thing, the buttons will disappear. So if you tap your screen, it'll make the buttons reappear. And I don't know exactly where, but take a look for one of look. Oh, gosh, take a look and look for the one that's a microphone, and click on it and mute yourself. I recommend that you do that when you're not actually talking because we can get feedback sometimes, and also you might forget that you have it on. And it's happened one time last year. Somebody in one of the classes thought she was on mute and went to the restroom. And so I had a bunch of windows open and I couldn't find the Google Hangouts screen to mute her in time. Everything. Luckily, I got there from like halfway through. But anyway, so let's see. Was there anything else? We got introductions. I think that might be it. So, the other thing I was going to say that's important is that I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. And when I do that, I can't see you all. And so if you have any questions, if I say something that makes no sense or you want to comment, just unmute yourself and yell at me. Interrupt me no matter what I'm doing, what I'm saying. It's just feel free to interrupt me. Lastly, like I said, I can't see you when I'm sharing my screen. So if somebody else joins the class, can you, one of you unmute me, or maybe all of you, unmute yourself and yell at me and say, hey, so-and-so just joined.
Okay.
That's just some of the logistics of Google Hangouts.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go ahead and start here. I'm going to share my screen. You guys are going to get a really cool visual for a second. Woo! Sometimes I just sit here and stare into that. That's not true. Maybe it is. So I sent you a link to a Google Docs folder. It'll look like this if you open it using the list view. It'll look like this if you open it using the icon view. Notice I called it Lushootseed, whereas if you saw it earlier, I called it Lushootseed. Those are exactly the same language. Lushootseed, Lushootseed. In the north, they call it Lushootseed. My grandpa actually didn't call it either of those or any of those. He called it Puyallup, which means Puyallup language. So our language actually has lots of names, which is cool, actually, when you think about it. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up our class syllabus. Now, I'm not going to read the syllabus at you guys because you all are technically adults, and that just seems condescending to read at you. I'm just going to make some points about it. So these dates up here are not necessarily the dates of your specific class. This is the date of the first Monday class, and this is the date of the last Thursday class. So I don't want you to look at that and be like, wait, we're not meeting on the 29th. Oh no. So that's what's going on there. And here's all my contact information. And I just wanted to share that with you in case you have any questions, comments, concerns, you're not able to link up to Gmail, any preferably Lushootseed related questions you might have. You can contact me at any of those. The course description and the course objective pretty much say the same thing. By the end of it, you'll be using Lushootseed for 1 hour a day. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my throat is getting a little bit hoarse. Had to take a drink of water. That will be including things like conversation with other people, self-narration by yourself. We will create an area in your home, your restroom actually, in which you will only speak the language, and you can self-narrate yourself doing anything, and I mean anything, you need to do in the bathroom. The course materials, the most important thing you already have. Those of you who are watching and well, participating in the video now have Google Hangouts. You have a computer with a camera or a device that you can record on. Let's see. I just need to go back and check on something. Okay. The other thing that we will ask you to get is a bound notebook of some type, like a journal or a notebook. And I know some people are really, really busy and you don't have time to go out and get one. That's fine. If you don't have time to go out and get one, I can get one to you somehow. I'll make it happen. We have many of them in the language department. The assignments, I'll go over more what the assignments are. The assignments are very simple. Basically, they're just checklists to remind you of things that you should do throughout the week to improve your Lushootseed. And there's also some, maybe you could call them extracurricular activities you can do as well that are kind of fun. Class schedule, I'm going to come back to class schedule because I made one and I'm going to show it to you. In Google Hangouts, I think I said actually everything I need to say. I'm just going to reiterate that sometimes it don't work. And when it don't work, we'll just find another way of doing it. I'm going to go over the class schedule now, but is there any question about, are there any questions about what I just said about any of this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
no, I don't have any.
okay. Sounds good. And like I said, if you do, if I say something that just makes no sense, just tell me. Oh my gosh, this thing does not want to, my computer doesn't like to zoom out. It zooms in when you don't want it to. It's zooming out that's a problem. So in this folder, you see there's class schedules for all the classes. Yours is Wednesday. Wednesday, class schedule. Probably the most immediate thing to talk about, the most important thing, is week 8. It is the week of Thanksgiving. And I think in my office, we didn't realize that. For those of us who work for the tribe, it will be a half day. If you guys are available and you would like to, I would still love to have class. I can do it from home. I can do it anywhere. I don't have to be in the office. But I know some other people might be traveling. I know that it's a very important time of the year to go see and eat with family. So when it gets closer till, I want you guys to tell me what you would like to do about Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving. Let's see. And then also, um, Halloween. I don't know if you guys will be trick-or-treating, or maybe your children will be trick-or-treating. I know there are some people that aren't in the class right now that do have kids. And so I'm imagining that they're going to be very busy on 10/31/18. So we'll find something to do. Maybe we can just meet at a different time. Maybe we can talk over the phone. Or probably the easiest thing would be just not attend class and then watch the video that I send out later on. But I want to hear what you want to do. So I'm going to show you what the individual classes look like. For the first 5 weeks, we will be doing an alphabet introduction. We will be looking at the alphabet characters in sets of, I believe it's between 9 and 11 at a time. And then we're going to talk about either conversation or a domain. I'm not going to talk too much about what a domain is right now, because next week is when I introduce them and I will describe them in detail. And so we do the alphabet for 5 weeks. Week 6 is where the classes are going to kind of normalize. All the rest of the classes from week 6 onward in this quarter, and for all the classes for all the following quarters, will look like this in week 6, where we start out where basically it says feedback on language use. Basically that means like, how was your Lushootseed? B is conversation, and obviously that's something that you use with other people, and that's important. It's important to be able to speak to other people around the tribe, or that you run into in the gym. A domain, again, that's something you do on your own at home. And then lastly, if there's anything I need to talk about in the homework, I will do it at the end of class, but it's pretty straightforward. Excuse me. Homework is usually pretty straightforward. And you see there's a language goal by the end. There's a language goal for each week. That's what I'm trying to say. And by the end of it, you'll be speaking for 60 minutes. It's going to be so easy. I know it sounds crazy to say it and to imagine it, but it's going to happen, and it's going to be easy for you. Any questions from anyone about the class schedule?
If we miss a class, where can we find the videos at?
I will send you a link. The link, if you click it, let's see. Actually, this class is different than all the others because your class will be on YouTube. So you can actually search for it using the Puyallup Tribal Language website. And I'll send you a link to that website as well. Yeah, that's a good question because I do it differently for your class than all the others. But I will make it available to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Anyone else?
Is this live on YouTube right now, or do you post like after the class is done?
It'll post after, but I'm not actually 100% sure. I have to admit that I'm not an expert on YouTube. You know what? I'm pretty sure that it posts after because YouTube usually has to review videos to make sure it's not prohibited content or anything like that.
Makes sense.
But I'm not 100% sure. I apologize. YouTube, quite honestly, goes over my head a little bit. It's for you youngsters, not old folks like me. I used to be younger. All right. Well, if there's no questions about that, I'm going to go ahead and begin the Lushootseed part of this. So this is our alphabet presentation. This first slide here, this says, "Oh, Shabitsi Chud." It means I have unconditional love for you. And this is the HR appropriate term of love. It's the kind that you can use around the office, around school. There are other terms for love that are more for significant others, but we will learn those later on. Puyallup Tribal Language Program, Lushootseed alphabet classes. This was made by Archie Cantrell, and he did such a good job that I just stole it. I'm going to make some changes to it, but it's very good. So what's going to happen is I'm going to basically talk about each one of these, and then we're going to read the Lushootseed word, and you'll be able to recognize the Lushootseed word because it always looks funky, together one at a time. So Jamie, are you unmuted?
Okay.
All right. So this first one that looks like a question mark without a period, that's called a glottal stop. And so let's just read this word over here. I'll say it twice. Ha, ha. And now you try it.
Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, me.
Oh no, actually, I'm gonna do Jamie first. Actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure
Sorry.
how you're doing this.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Actually, 1 second, please.
Ha.
Somebody in the class, I think, is trying to join. Nope, it's unrelated. I apologize. I have to keep my phone on during these because in case somebody tries to join the class but they're having issues, they'll say, "Hey, send me another invitation." So that's why the interruption happened. So I'm just gonna say ha one more time, and then it'll be your turn, Jamie. So
Okay.
ha.
Ha.
Oh, that was so nice. And this means
Almost.
good. You can tell by the thumbs up there. So I could say ha. Or that just is good. And that stop happens way down in your throat. Now, the A in Lushootseed is a lot easier than the A in English because it only makes the ah sound. So let's say ha, ha, one more time.
Ha.
Ha.
Good.
I know it's so.
Actually,
That's harder than it sounds.
It is.
oh, let's see. Calicia, can you mute yourself, please? I'm getting
Yeah.
a little bit of feedback. I apologize. You
That's okay.
sounded great, but it was kind of like, can you guys hear the feedback?
No.
Oh, okay. Huh. My computer's just old and tired. So the B is easy because it sounds just like the B in badminton. Let's say this word over here, baloops.
Baloops.
Nice. And see that naughty little baloops right there? I wonder what he's even doing.
Baloops.
And so there is a C. The thing about the C in Lushootseed is that it doesn't make the same sound as the C in English. It makes a T sound, as in cats. Cats. So let's say this word over here that means 5. It's tsalats. Tsalat.
Talots.
Oh, that was really good. Oh, I'm so excited for this class. So check this one out. This is a C, but it has an apostrophe. What that means is that it's called a glottalized C. And you start out basically by making the t sound normally, except that you kind of close your throat and hold your breath and pop it out. A really good example is if you know when you beatbox like you do every single day and you go it's that sound in there. Let's just try that. That was good. Nice. So let's say this word, all.
Oh boy. Say it again one more time.
Yeah, I'll do it nice and slow. All.
All.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
I got myself a little wound up there. That sounded.
Oops.
Oh no, go ahead. I was listening. That sounded great.
Sorry, my phone. Hold on, I gotta plug in my phone really quick.
Oh no. I know.
1 second.
It's no problem. I was doing one of these classes last year and I didn't realize my computer was not plugged in and it like
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it died right in the middle and everybody was looking at me and I just disappeared. Let me know when you're ready.
Oops. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. So take a look at this letter. It's a C wearing a funny hat or a pair of ears. It's actually called a C wedge, and it makes the ch sound, just like in the word Chick-fil-A. And so let's look at this word over here. It looks funky, but it's actually really easy to say. It's chubba. Chubba.
Chubba. Chubba.
Nice. And for those of you who don't have children, this is a backpack. It's from Dora Explorer. Now, this is a cool letter. This is a blinged out C. I'm just joking. It's called a glottalized C wedge.
Back.
And so it starts out, it sounds complicated, but it's really easy. So you start out by making the ch sound, as in cheese or Chick-fil-A. But you do the same thing as you did with the glottalized C, which is to hold your breath and pop it out and go. Ch. Just try that.
Ch-
So just like close your, maybe the back of your throat and just pop it. Oh, that sounded good. All right. So let's say this word over here, it's Dutch-o. Dutch-o.
Dutch-o.
Nice. I heard your glottis closing up and popping it out. That sounded great. And that means, it doesn't mean finger, it means one. So I don't know if you've ever been at the old Cushman site near the graveyard on the reservation. There's a street called Duct Cho, and it actually was, they wrote that out before they adopted this script for our language. And so this is what they were writing, and I was, as a kid, I was so proud that we had a street in our language. I thought that was so cool. So let's go through these letters one more time. The regular C, salat.
Salat.
Nice. Now the glottalized C, t'al.
Can you do that one more time?
Yeah. T'al.
Tall.
Oh, that was so good. And now the C wedge, chubba.
Chubba.
Yeah. You don't have to say it goofy like I do. I don't know why. I just got in the habit of saying chubba. Yeah, I guess I could say it like a normal human too. Then Dutch-o.
Dutch-o.
Nice. I heard the glottal stop in there. The glottalized C. The D is exactly the same as in English, or for that matter, German, Dachshund. So let's say this word over here. This word is probably easier than this one. So let's say this word, Dutch-o.
Dutch-o.
Yeah, because we said it like a minute ago. This one here, the D with the little Z on top, is called a D raised Z. And you can kind of see why. It's a little raised up, and it's little. It's the same as the English DS sound in steroids. Roids. So let's just say z. It's pretty easy. So let's say this word over here, zalachi. Zalachi.
Zalachi.
Nice. Perfect. Check out this thing. This, it looks like an upside down E, but it's actually called a schwa. And it just makes a sound, as in ugly. Let's say this word over here. These are all letters that we've learned today. Yeah, it's chud. Chud.
Chud.
Nice. And that means me or I. Sorry, I'm having a equipment malfunction. My speed is sliding. Great. Well, are there any questions about any of this?
No, just probably have to practice a lot.
Oh, that's totally fine. And let's see, I can't remember. This is Jamie, right? I can't see her face.
That's me. It's Kaylee's.
Oh, it's Kaylee's here. Oh, okay. All right. I got mixed up on who we were starting with. Oh,
it's okay. Mine's a raspy voice. I'm kind of sick too.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kaylee's. And Jamie, are you available?
Oh wait, am I? No.
Oh yeah, there you are. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, now I can see you. Did we start? I can't remember.
I think we initially started, but then my phone was about to die, and then I ended up muting myself.
Oh yeah, so we switched a little bit through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
that's no problem. So we just start over, Jamie? Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. Let's just say this word here, hot.
Hot.
Oh, that was so good. And that means thumbs up. Good. And the A only makes the ah sound. And so let's say ha one more time.
Ha.
Nice.
More like
Ah.
is it like a TH at the end? Hot.
Well, that is called a barred L. And I wasn't going to explain it today, but I can tell you a little bit just so we can get through these words here. But the way I like to explain it is, well, who has seen has any of you seen the word, it's not, why can't I talk today? The movie Ice Age. Do you remember that sloth thing by John Leguizamo? It's
Mm.
like, hi guys, my name
Hi,
is Sid the
guys.
Oh,
Sloth.
like a,
That list
no,
he has, that's
that
actually his
list.
letter. He was a Lushootseed speaker, it turns out. I don't know. I don't think
Nice.
Lushootseed that old. So let's just practice making that noise, like the Sid the Sloth noise. Yeah, that's exactly it. And if you spit on your screen, whether it's a computer or tablet, but not your iPhone, just joking, you're doing it right. You
Okay.
need to spit when you make that noise. So just so you know. So let's
Okay,
try it
good.
one more time. Ha.
Hot.
Ah.
Oh, that was so good. Man, I'm excited for this class. Let's say this word, baloops.
Balloons.
Nice. And so this is the regular C. Let's just say tsalots.
It's a lot.
Nice. This one is the C wedge. This is the one where you say the t sound, but you close off your throat. You pop it out. You just like hold your breath. Don't worry about closing your throat. Just hold your breath and pop out the TS sound. Go perfect. Nice. That sounded so good. Let's say this word over here, nice and slow. All.
Ate all.
Yes. Man, the problem with having these classes in the evening for me is that by the end of it, I'm just so energized. And I want to go jogging, but it's all like cold and wet and rainy. So let's say the C wedge. Let's say this word, chubba, chubba.
Chubba.
Die of hot.
Chubba.
Nice. So
Chub.
that I just said die of hot, and I didn't explain what that means. That means very good, or really good, actually, is what it means. This is the blinged out C, otherwise known as the glottalized C wedge, and it makes the sound, kind of like a really dry. I think of like, I don't know, like sticks, like hitting two sticks together. Oh, that sounds so great. Perfect. I can't tell who said what, but both of them sound great. Let's say this word right here, Dutch-o. Dutch-o.
Dutch-o.
Perfect.
Oh.
Dutch-o. And one more time.
Say it one more
Yeah.
time. In and out.
What's that?
My phone keeps cutting out like the volume, so like, I feel like
Oh.
I'm missing certain like wait.
Okay, I think that's why I didn't hear you very well, so that's why it must have been why. But let's continue actually, because I just remembered we're going to say this word a couple more times anyway, so there's no point in stopping it. Excuse me, I need a drink of water again. Okay. Let's just do these in review. The regular C, let's say tsalat.
Tsalat.
Nice. And let's say tsatal.
Tsatal.
Nice.
Ate all.
Perfect. Oh, let's see. And Kalicia, you did these ones already, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you mute yourself real quick? I'm having
Yep.
trouble hearing. Thank you, I appreciate it. You sounded great. All right. And let's say this one. This is the C wedge. Let's say chubba.
Chubba.
Nice. And this one more time. The glottalized C wedge. Dutch-o.
Dutch. Oh.
Oh, that was so good. I heard the air stop when you were saying the C wedge. So you're doing it right. Let's do it one more time for the D. Dutch-o.
Dutch. Oh.
Nice. And this is the D raised Z, because there's a little Z up there. Let's say Zalachi.
Zalachi.
Nice. And then this is the schwa. Let's say chud.
Chud.
Nice. So, Jamie, are there any questions about what we just went over?
No, I just have to practice, especially that one right there.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one. I like it.
Yeah.
Think of it like let's see, chi. What's a good way? Chi church. So imagine that you're like holding your breath, or maybe I don't know, you're out of breath trying to get to church. It's Sunday. It's 10:15. You're 15 minutes late, and you're running out of breath, and you can't breathe. You say, "I gotta get to church." Church. Does that make any sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you shouldn't feel any breath coming out of your throat when you say ch, ch. It's all from your mouth. Yeah. That sounded great.
Okay.
And quite honestly, we don't have this sound in English. And so it really should feel weird to you. So if it feels weird, you're doing it right.
Okay.
And it's not letting me zoom out. If there are no other questions, I'm going to move on. That actually went a lot faster than I was expecting. I apologize. I'm having technical difficulties. My computer is not letting me zoom back out. I think I was saying earlier that it zooms in just fine. I'm just going to try to move on with it zoomed in. So that was the alphabet. Now, again, if you look in this folder, either it looks like this with a bunch of icons. I really want to see everything on. There we go. Thank you for the favor, computer. Either with icons or like this in a list. You'll see in this folder that I sent you, there's a second folder, a subfolder called greetings. And if you open that up, there's a lot of stuff in here. The first three really are, is it the first three? Yeah. Are just kind of things that I put in there to explain things, or it's something in a little bit more detail. They're not really important. The important one is the greetings poster that I would like to go through now, if it'll open. And the reason I call certain things posters is because we literally want you to print them up and post them out so that you can refer to them. Post them up, I mean. Especially when later on when we're doing things called domains and you're self-narrating, you can just look right at it. You don't really usually have a nice poster when you're going out into the world and talking to people, but maybe you can have one by your desk or something. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. So let's see. Let's go in the order. Kalicia, Kalicia, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah.
All right. So we're just going to go from the top to the bottom. Let's say this first word, quadachi.
Quadachi.
Nice. And you've probably heard these first two words quite a bit, but we're going to say the whole sentence.
Okay.
Slachel twel dugwi.
Hax lahero twal dugwi.
Nice. And so this is good day to you. And in our language, we make a distinction between you in the singular and you in the plural. This is for one person when you like see somebody that you know in the, I was going to say hospital, I meant hallway. Another thing I wanted to say about this phrase in particular is that the pronunciation of this word right here, slachel or slachel, is quite variable, actually. In the more northern dialects, the accent is near the end of the sentence, or sorry, the end of the word. So they tend to say slachel. And in the south, the accent tends to be on the schwa. So they tend to say slachel. What's interesting, though, is that my grandpa didn't say either of those. He dropped the L altogether, the last L, so that he said slachi. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I'll talk about why that might be when we get done with this. I apologize. Let's say this right here. Us ched cha.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah. So let me just let you know right here, this letter, the X wedge, that's literally a throat clearing sound, like yeah.
Okay.
And I know just because we don't use it very much in English, it might feel really difficult and hard at first, and that's totally fine. It's your job to overcome the challenge right now. So I understand it feels weird. Us Khed Cha.
Ascrecho. I totally butchered it.
No, that was actually really, really good, especially because I forgot to tell you about this one. Actually, I'm going to stop screen sharing for 1 second. So that sound, it's cha, and you see how rounded my lips are, cha. Well, I think that what it is that they were pointing with their face. They were pointing at you, because like my dad, like whenever I go visit my dad, he's from the Browning Reservation, and he's always like waiting for me to get there. So hey, go get me that candy bar. And he points with his face. And so I think that's what they were doing when they were saying chuff, chuff. And it looks really bad, and I kind of don't want to do it again because it's not the most attractive look. But that's what it is, chuff. And that means you. All right, let me share my screen again so you don't have to see my lips. All right, where was I? Aschecha. Good. So check out this letter here. I call it the burning teepee. It has a really fancy name, and we'll get to what that name is and get to we'll go into it in detail when we get to it doing the alphabet introduction. But for right now, I'll just tell you that it's kind of a click noise. It's made in the same place that let's say you're trying to get a horse's attention. You go, "Hey horsey." You know how you kind of suck in on the side of your mouth? Well, this is a similar noise, except that you're going to blow out in that same place and go. Oh, yes. That was so good. That was really great. That came for you. Must be your Puyallup blood. Let's say this word right here. Us Obil Chud.
Us Chobil Chud.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And this will get easier. I mean, it's.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Let's try it one more time. Us Obil. So that's the click. Obil.
Us Cho. Oh, wait. Sorry. Chobil Chud.
That's totally fine. And again, right now, it's your job to feel uncomfortable when you're just learning a new language. It's totally fine. So I'm going to let you work on that one. Excuse me. And I'm going to move on to this next one. We're going to say, us Joe Il Chud.
Us Joe Il Chud.
Nice. That's I'm joyful. This crazy J, that's a normal J. There's linguistic reasons why they put that hat on it. It's just a normal J.
Okay.
This is a fun word. We're just going to say these 3 letters. Hush. Hush.
Hush.
Oh, yes, that was good. That was great. And the great thing about that is that's exactly the noises that I've been making this past week. That means I am sick. So let's say, starting from the beginning, us hush chud.
Us hush chud.
That was really, really good. Oh man, I'm so excited. Let's say this one here. Remember, the C makes a TS sound like in English cats. So let's say us chetzil chud.
Chud.
That was pretty dang good. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, I'm so sorry. That was pretty dang good. I'm so excited. Now this one is long and it's a tongue twister. So I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. So the first one is from here to the barred L. Let's say us hush.
Us hush.
Yes. That was great. And then from the schwa to the C wedge. Us hutch.
Us hutch.
Nice. Now we're going to say it all together, but nice and slow. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to sit up straight and roll my shoulders and just relax. I notice that when I'm like really concentrating, I get so tense Harder to speak when you're all tensed up and and you just
Mhm.
relax and shake everything out. So let's say this word all together and slow. Aschach, aschach.
Ascot. As- It
It's kind of funky, isn't it? Let's try
is. It's a good. It's a hard one.
time. Yeah, let's get a. I'm gonna say it one more time. Aschach, aschach.
Ascot. Ascot.
That was pretty dang good. That was pretty close. So I noticed, like a lot of people, when I noticed it in music also, when there's really hard passage in music, people tend to speed up. And I noticed that in Lushootseed also, when there's a really hard word, people tend to speed up, which of course that doesn't make it easier. So just remember, when you're trying to get a hard word, just roll your shoulders, roll your neck. And for those of us who have guts, just let your gut hang out and let it relax you. No, I know you don't have that problem. Oh, and this is, I hope you don't have to say this very often anyway, because it means you're sad and or depressed.
Oh yeah.
So let's say this word. This is an important one. Us tsawash chud.
Astawad Chud.
That was so good. This one is the opposite. Us bush chud.
Asbash Chud.
Nice. And I am strong. Us walla chud.
Asquala Chud.
Yeah, that actually sounded pretty good. And I forgot to explain this letter. This is X, wedge, raised W. I like to call it the Starbucks letter because you start out by making a throat clearing sound like, but then you round your lips. And it makes the exact same noise that the barista makes when he's making your little pumpkin latte this morning.
The milk steaming.
Yeah, it's the milk steamer letter. And so just think of that. Yeah, that was perfect. So let's say us walla chud.
Asquala Chud.
Nailed it.
I know that one. I know that noise.
You might have heard me saying this at the gym. Us walla chud. You know, I gotta talk myself up.
I'll start singing it.
Yeah. Kaylee, are there any questions about anything that we went over here?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No,
right.
no.
And you sounded great. Thank you so much. If I could have you mute yourself again, I'm going to ask Jamie to unmute herself.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, right. So let's just start at the top and go to the bottom. Let's start out with Quadachi.
Quadachi.
Yeah.
Quadachi.
Oh, that was great. I forgot to say that this means, like, literally it means take my hand or take the hand. And so when you're walking up to somebody and you run into the hallway, you can say Quadachi, like, and hold out your hand, like, oh, take my hand. So it's a cute little thing. We don't really say that in English. We don't really say, give me your hand. It kind of means something else. It kind of means something more, I don't know, romantic. Thinking of something from like Titanic or something. Anyway.
Right.
So let's say these here. I'm going to break this up into two parts. I'm going to say ha slachel.
Ha slahel.
Nice. And then twal dugwi.
Dugwi.
Nice. And so the reason I broke it up is because these two first words, they appear on their own quite a bit. I've never actually I've never actually heard very many people say these last two words. They're kind of just like ha slachel, ha slachel. Yeah, but if you wanted to be very specific, ha slachel twadugwi, to make it a little bit more formal, I guess that's why. I don't know. Let's say this one here, and remember, this is the throat clearing sound. Us ched cha.
Us. Wait, say it one more time.
Yeah. Us Cheid Cho.
Us. Hey.
Cho.
Cha.
Nice. That means how are you?
How are you?
And so, and this one, remember, is that clicking noise between your teeth and your tongue. Yeah. So let's just say it then. It sounds great. Us Obil Chud.
Us. Wait. Say it one more time.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah. That was great. Us
Us.
Obil
Oh.
Chud.
Us. Oh, Bill Chud.
Nice. Actually, I'll take this opportunity to say I'll talk more about it when we get to the letters individually. But the U in our language is a little bit crazy because before we adopted the English alphabet, the we had a sound that was not an U or an O. It was kind of a ooh ooh, and the closest thing to that is a U. But so for a lot of people who speak the language now who don't have that, have never heard that ooh sound, it sounds more like an O to them. So that's why sometimes the U will sound like more like an O. Actually, in our dialect specifically, the Southern Lushootseed dialect, the U almost always sounds like an O. But in the North, they have these exact same words, but they would say us ubil or us juil. They just pronounce things differently. So, sorry, I got myself on a little tangent there. Let's say this word right here, us joil chud.
Us. Oh, Bill Chud.
Yeah, one more time. Us
Us.
joil chud.
Joe Ilchud.
There you go. The only reason I wanted to do it again, you sounded great, but you cut out halfway through, so I wanted to make sure I heard you, and that sounded wonderful. Let's say this one. Us hush chud.
Us. Chud.
Nice. I heard the nice X wedge in there. That was great. Let's say this one. Us Chetzil chud.
Say it one more time.
Yeah. So the us is going to be the same in all of them. So just us and then Chetzil.
Us. Hegel. No.
It's no problem. Just
That one, yeah, it's like that one is done.
yeah. So let's look at these letters in maybe groups of two right here and then
Okay.
three. These two letters right here are che. Let's just say che.
Hey.
Perfect. And then this one is seal. Seal.
Ew.
Perfect. Now let's just stick those together. Che seal.
Hey. Ew.
Oh yes. Sorry, got myself kind of worked up there. Let's do the whole thing nice and slow. Us seal chud.
Wait. Us. Hail. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's
So
that
again,
part? I was like,
it's no problem. And again, just get nice and relaxed. Like maybe roll your shoulders and roll your head. And we're gonna do it nice and slow. Us seal.
hail. Us. Hail. See. Chud.
That was great. Oh yeah, I'm so excited.
Almost.
That was pretty dang good. I mean, you're speaking the shoot seed.
Right.
So this one is kind of long. We're going to do it in sections, though. We're only going to go from the glottal stop to the barred L. We're going to say us. Sorry about that. Us. Hush.
Us.
Yeah, and then we're going to go from the schwa to the C wedge. Us. Hutch.
Us. Hutch.
Oh, that was great. Do you want to try the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And nice and slow. Remember, when you get nervous, not you, I mean, like when humans get nervous, humans tend to rush. So be nice and relaxed. Hush, hutch.
Us. Hutch. Uh, what's that last part?
Hutch.
Hutch.
Nice. I'm going to make sure that this wasn't somebody in our class. Oh, so Zeke is telling us that the class actually is being broadcasted right now.
Oh.
I did not know that. I thought there was going to be a waiting period. So, hi, world. So let's say,
Hello.
so I hope you don't have to say that very often because it means I am sad and
Yeah,
or
I don't want to be sad.
yeah. I have to admit, it took me a long time to figure out how to say this word. I think I actually had to at one point get like get colored markers and go to a whiteboard to get it to work in my brain. All right. So let's say I am hungry. This is an important one. Us tsawash chud.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm gonna mute my phone. I usually, like I was saying, I usually keep my phone on because people who try to join the class will be like, send me another invite. But so let's say this one. Us bush chud.
Chud.
Oh, that was so good. Your the connection got a little bit wonky, but I heard the important bits. I heard the Bart L in there. Now remember, this one is the Starbucks letter. Let's just practice that one real quick. Remember, round your lips and think of what's that really frothy? Oh, a breve. A breve is the really frothy one. Think of a breve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, let's say us walla chud.
Chud.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
Chud.
Oh, that one was even better. So, Jamie, are there any questions about what we just went over? Any of this? Comments or concerns, even?
No, I think it's just a matter of the more that I hear it, and then some of those where you break it down in the twos and the threes, that definitely helps me. But then it's like by the time I get to that, like that third part, it's like, okay, wait, what am I saying again? So, but yeah, just more practice. It'll get better for sure.
So I'll show you, like, a lot of times what I do when there's a really difficult word. I'm gonna make sure that you guys can see this and it's not coming out backwards. This is the problem. I was having this exact problem with this word. And if you just break it up into little bits, so like it just started from here, hutch, hutch, and just trying to say that, and then adding just a little bit at a time, and then saying hutch, hutch, and then adding here, hutch, hutch, and then the whole thing. Whoops, sorry. So that's one of the ways that I practice these really difficult words, and I used it on that word specifically. It took me a minute to get that word down. So if there's no questions, I'm going to move on. We started a little bit late, so it's actually technically the end of class time. Are you guys okay to keep working, or do you guys need to go? Well, I shouldn't ask it that way. Let me rephrase that. If you need to go, please feel free. I totally understand. So I'm going to try to close this. Oh, wait. I meant to share my screen. Go back to sharing my screen. I just wanted to quickly go over the homework. Nope. Before I do the homework, I wanted to show you all this other stuff that's in this folder. This one, greeting and responses. It's basically the same thing that we just went over with a little bit more detail. One of the important ones is here, siab. Especially when an elder comes into your office or you run into an elder, or for that matter, it's just a polite way of greeting somebody on the street, siab. Or if you happen to see a female elder, you'd say, siab. Another important one is we learned this word just now, as for how are you. This SL means Southern Lushootseed, which is our dialect. In the north, around, say, Puyallup and north, they say Asjalcha. And so if you happen to be around the tribe, you might hear some people saying Asjalcha instead, because that's they're from the north, or they learned the language from someone from the north. So those are two variants that you might hear. And the rest of this is all stuff that we know already. But if you wanted to refer to that, you're more than welcome. I made a mistake. This is the exact same thing as this. I apologize. A lot of times when we're going over something new, you will see something called greetings, like, or I shouldn't say that. A lot of times you'll see something that's called explanations or grammar, and it's fun. It's something that I love to read, but not everybody does. And it's technically not necessarily, it might not even be useful in your Lushootseed learning, because basically your acquisition of Lushootseed is a better way to phrase it. It's basically a linguistic breakdown of what we are learning. And you don't need linguistic breakdowns of things to understand how to speak a language, because children don't need linguistic breakdowns of English when they learn English. Nobody sits them down and says, well, you know, we have a 3-part gender case system in our pronouns. Like, no, what? That doesn't, it's not always helpful, but it's there for you. It was helpful for me because I love that stuff. These other things in here in this folder, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more recordings. These recordings are by Zeke. Anything that has a ZZ in it is something that Zeke has approved or is on. These others, I believe, are Amber and Chris Duenas. So you are welcome to listen to those as well. They have some more information that we don't have, that we, or I should say, that we didn't go over today, just because we don't usually have time to go over everything. So any questions about what's in this folder? Excuse me.
No.
All right. Well, in that case, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Let me take another drink of water. My throat is so over it. This is what our homeworks look like. And you see, all it is a checklist and a bunch of hyperlinks. Up at the top, it says homework for week 1. And they always just look like this. They'll be in the same format. The first one almost always says, print out whatever poster I sent you and post it up. Number 2 is to use it. Try to have a conversation. In this week, we learned conversational material. Other weeks, we might be learning domains. So it'll say, try to use your domain. And what's really awesome about using your computer to look at your homework rather than printing it out is that you can just click on these hyperlinks. And so this one says, review the alphabet video. And look at that. Isn't that amazing? And then you get Chris Duenas.
This video covers the pronunciation of the Lushootseed alphabet.
Yeah, it does. But I'm so blown away by technology now. Because, you know, I used to be younger, and that stuff wasn't around back then. So amazing. And especially number 4, review the materials on the Puyallup Tribal Language website. And again, click the hyperlink and look where it takes you. Look at that. To our tribe's language website. I remember when I was little, my grandpa said, oh, when I die, this language is going to be forgotten. Well, nope. We got a website in the language. What a wonderful time to be alive. You see, there's more stuff here that we went over, and if you want to, you can learn them also. The reason we didn't go over them is because we're going to go over them in detail in later classes. There's also another recording here that you can listen to.
Lushootseed greetings and departures.
And there's the Hey Siab, Chris Duenas again. This is all Chris Duenas, by the way. He's amazing. He did this. We'd be lost without him. And it says, work on the flashcards for number 5. And again, look at that, flashcards. I don't know about you, but I was the coolest kid in the 90s and the early 2000s. I spent my weekends making flashcards. I have thousands of them. But now you don't have to, because Chris Duenas did it for you. And so the word comes up, and then...
Lushootseed.
Chris Duenas says them for you. And then you flip the card. It's all right there. So amazing. Number 6, review the class video class recording is what it says on YouTube. And again, I thought that there was going to be like a little gestation period before this video went live, but it sounds like it's live. So you'll be able to find it if you go to the Puyallup Tribal Language website and do a search for, I called the class Lushootseed 091 Fall Quarter Week 1 Wednesday 5:30 or Wednesday evening. I can't remember. But by that point, you will have found it. Number 7, beyond studying, try to use the language for 5 minutes every day. That goes really easy. If you talk to yourself, talk to your cat, talk to your plants, or other people. I forgot, there's other people. It goes by so quickly. And then number 8, just keep track of it. You don't have to get like a stopwatch or anything. Just like be aware of how much you're using it, because eventually we're going to try to ask you to use it more and more every week. So, Jamie or Calicia, are there any questions about this one, about the homework?
Nope.
All right.
Nope, not for me.
All right. Well, class is way over. I'm sorry I went over. I got a little excited there. The one thing I did forget to say is all that stuff that I shared with you is now yours. Everything that we make and we share with you belongs to the community. The language belongs to you. We don't try to hide anything from everybody. So print it out, share it with whomever you would like. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something. That's just how I roll. But if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, you can email me at any of those phone numbers or emails that I showed you in the syllabus. Are there any other questions? All right. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast now.